Hello, you join us at this week's show. We are one run in and things are going well. So it was an agility run, we got a clear round and we came second. So I'm very pleased with that. And we missed out on first by like just over a second, so we weren't like miles off like we were last weekend. And there were 12 dogs, so that's a reasonable number of dogs, and yeah, she did a really lovely job. There was just one wrap where we wasted time because she did that thing where she kind of came on like the wrong side of me, like before the jump, and we managed to not get a refusal, but it definitely cost us time, so we'll be good to stop doing that. And also I did something different for the start line where I took her lead off outside the ring, because when I'm outside the ring I've got treats, so it's easier to manage her. So I took her off outside the ring, gave her some treats, and then we just wandered into the ring, you know, which is a kind of risky strategy, because yeah, she could go crazy and take any of the obstacles, which would get us eliminated. So maybe she will do that, could turn out to be a disaster. But this time there was some confusion over, you know, who was running, and so we stood around for ages and she just sat behind the judge and just waited, and then she didn't come quite up to the start line, because that's my other worry, that she might just be like, I'm not going to come with you. But she was kind of in the vicinity, and then I just started running and she came, so it worked well. So we will continue with that strategy and see how things develop. We've got some jumping in just a moment. This is a really lovely venue. Look at this little woodland stroll which we're on. We should really be at the ring, but Jelly was keen to come in the woodland. So we just did our jumping and we got about 1 million refusals. Just like every single obstacle, Teddy was like, I want to be next to you. So I don't really know quite what that was about. I did the same start line strategy and she waited outside the ring. But then when we started, she did come. But yeah, it was just refusal after refusal, which is frustrating because we could have done really great. Here I am wandering into the ring without Tilly, but she'll be along in a bit. So yeah, she was a little bit not really aligned there, but this part is going nicely, and then this is where she's like, where are you? It slows down a bit, but it's okay, we carry on. We go through the tunnel, and then here, that's where we get a refusal, and I think that it wasn't clear that she needed to go out far enough to take the jump. So then we carry on, and then here she's kind of jumping up at me, not great, and then we need to do the weaves and she's kind of messing around, but we managed to get in them, and she's kind of gets into it eventually, kind of. Then I was a little bit lost, but then we got over the jump, and then she's supposed to go in the tunnel, and usually she's like, oh, I love tunnels, but again we got another refusal. But then she goes through the tunnel, then we've got to go over this jump again, which is also a struggle. But then this last run of jumps goes nicely. That's the end of the course there. We actually only got 2 refusals, but it felt like a lot more, let me tell you. And we also got a little bit of time faults. A jumping course. We've just been checking out the steeplechase course, which will be our next run, and the steeplechase seems kind of like a big deal here. Usually the steeplechases have like 5 people in them, this one's got loads of people, and we're in the combined 1 to 3 category, in which there were 19 dogs. And generally we enjoy steeplechases because fast flowing quarters are what we're about. But after today's jumping performance, I've lost confidence. We are heading over to our steeplechase, and I've reviewed the footage of our jumping run, and I can kind of see maybe why some of the refusals and refusal type things, why we had those problems, because some of the kind of turns and stuff, I guess because of kind of Tilly's like vantage point, it actually probably wasn't as obvious as I thought it was. We just did our steeplechase and it went pretty well. There was just one jump that we almost got a refusal on, where I kind of knew from the jumping that we did previously, I kind of knew that I needed to like help her to like get out far enough to take it instead of coming in too sharply, and I managed that to some extent but not quite enough, so we lost a bit of time there, but yeah, I'm very pleased with how that went and how she drove forward. So yeah, we need to check the results, see where we are. It's still going. Also, we need to find ring 3 because I think it's probably not that long until our next run, which is jumping. But yes, I'm not sure I've seen ring 3 on our travels, but we were in ring 4, so maybe it's next door to that. That would make sense. So here I come, wandering on casually, and then we were off, and here comes Tilly, and she was actually really nicely aligned, so actually got a really nice start there. And then there's a tunnel here just off shot, and then we're doing a little loop around to come back to that tunnel, and it's all going very well so far. So now we're heading over to the other tunnel, again still going nicely, and then we do a jump and then into this other tunnel, and then this is the jump that we kind of lost a little bit of time on, didn't quite get out far enough, and then a little wobble there going into the tunnel, and then down this line of 3 jumps to finish up there. We're currently in 3rd for the steeplechase, so out of the places, which is a bit of a shame, but yeah, that's okay. We tried our best, we did a good run, but yes, maybe we need to think about how we can shave these bits of time. We're about 5-ish seconds off first, so yeah, but yeah, we'll see what happens with the remaining dogs, and I'm hoping that this is ring 3 that I'm just approaching. I've had a look at the jumping course, and it's kind of similar to the steeplechase, to be honest. It's got some weaves second, and that's a bit of a funky start. It's sort of got to jump off to the side and then the weaves. But yeah, then it's kind of circling around in the tunnels and like slingshotting out in a straight line, which is yeah, kind of what we just did. So yeah, not sure how the start's going to go, especially with our new crazy technique, which worked well for the steeplechase because it was kind of all lined up. So yeah, it worked well for that, but this one with this angled first jump that's then going into the weaves, not quite sure how that is going to work. We just did the jumping and we got eliminated because she took the jump after one of the tunnels where she was supposed to go straight into the next tunnel, and I hadn't really kind of appreciated, I guess she could see the jump, and that was more sort of the direction we've been going in, so yeah, maybe I should have called her to help her go to tunnel number 2, but apart from that, it was a really nice run, and she actually did the start really well. She actually came into the ring a little bit more than she has with the other couple, and then kind of by accident she was sort of set up on a really good angle to take the first jump and go straight to the weaves, which I probably wouldn't have thought of if I'd actually been setting her up. Now you can't see the first jump, which was angled, but Tilly managed to do it, and raw, so you can't see the first weave pole, but Tilly got nice into the weaves. Yeah, just some quite nice weaves there, and then comes nicely over the jumps and the tunnel, and then these more jumps and the tunnel. Look how fast she's going, lovely. But then, oh no, that jump was not on the course, unfortunately. But we carry on, and she continues to go really nicely over the jumps and the tunnel, and then down this little line, which was a little kind of weirdly aligned for the finish. So yeah, we've looked at the agility and got a vague plan. It's got another tunnel to tunnel situation, but there are fewer jumps around the place for that. The weather's turning a little bit, and it finishes on a wall, which is unusual. So yeah, probably shortly we're just heading back to the car. Made it to the car, and I'm just thinking about the agility course. There's a jump after the double tunnel, which kind of similar to what we've had in some other courses, is that she needs to come out far enough, like before she turns, and so I'm kind of like, oh, maybe I should, you know, really be there to push her out. But I think I'm going to attempt to be past the jump and do a blind cross, so that hopefully she kind of sees me going sort of past the jump on the other side, so she kind of knows, oh, I need to be going out to that jump, and then hopefully I can pick her up on the other side to do a nice slice onto the A-frame. I have a vision. In the vision, it's fantastic. Will it work? I don't know. Further plans. Then I think I'm going to try to do a rear cross towards the end. So after the weaves, there's a jump, and then there's a jump after that. So I'm going to try and rear cross on that jump, because I need to change sides, and there's not really a terrific place to do it. And I'm hoping that it'll work okay with like the tunnel and stuff coming around. But yeah, I don't know. Rear crosses are always a bit of a gamble with us because we don't really know how to do them. We're just heading over to the agility, and the rain seems to have stopped for the moment, so I have declined to put our rain gear on, so fingers crossed we don't get drenched. We just did our agility run and we got eliminated, but I'm really pleased with how she did. The first half was amazing. I didn't do the blind because I saw other people doing front cross, and I was like, yeah, front cross would be better there, I think. So yeah, we did that. Yeah, the first half went really well, and then I made the mistake of thinking to myself, oh, this is going really well. Guess what? Then it went wrong. So yeah, kind of from the weaves it went a bit wrong. So she was like, what these weaves about? What you want me to do with these? So I think we got a refusal on the entry, and then kind of, yeah, all the way along she was kind of like, what are we doing here? And then the rear cross was not a success. She took the wrong side of that jump, and then I kind of brought her around again because we'd already been eliminated, and she did the wrong side again. So I think maybe I would have been better off on the other side, because maybe then we wouldn't have been so far over that she was like that the backside was even available to her. But yeah, I'm really pleased with how the first half went. The tripod blew over, so I'm not sure whether that was before or after our run, But yeah, so that concludes our runs for the day, which is kind of crazy because we had 5 runs and it's only like lunchtime. So yeah, it's been quite kind of packed schedule. And yeah, we've had a bit of a mix of stuff, but overall, yeah, I'd say there's been a lot of good stuff in there, and also some learnings. And yes, we do have a couple of rosettes to pick up, so that is fun. Review of our start line strategy. It was surprisingly successful. I thought that she might run off and do the obstacles, but she didn't. And although she did kind of hang back and didn't come to the start line with me, she did come like once we got started. So yeah, I don't know, it felt like a little bit chaotic, but that actually like worked really nicely, kind of her starting like that, because then she had like more drive going forward, because often when I set her up like just by the jump, then like the first jump she kind of does and then comes into me, and then we kind of get into it. But this way, like in some ways it's like a wait start, it's just that it's where Tilly fancies it to be, which happens to be like really far away. But yeah, then she goes and drives forward. So yeah, I will continue to do it, I think, and hopefully I can kind of develop it into something a bit more controlled. See if I can get her to, you know, engage with me in some way, and hopefully kind of build that up to the ideal, which would be, you know, she's coming with me and we can stop and she can wait somewhere where I think is good for the course, because yeah, at the moment it's a bit random depending on, you know, how the course starts as to how well it works. It worked, I mean, we did have a few different starts today and it did work with all of them, but yeah, I can imagine that there could be starts that it wouldn't be so great with. So yeah, just interested to see, yeah, how it develops. Yeah, whether she does more hanging back or if she's like, oh, I don't want to wait at the start line, so this is fun, I'll come. I don't know. But yeah, interested to see what happens. And also I like it more because I don't like having to, you know, feel like I'm kind of dragging her to the start line. I'm not actually dragging her, but feeling like I'm making her come to the start line and she doesn't want to, and then having to, you know, like pick her up and put her where she's going to start. You know, I'm like, oh, does she not want to do this? Whereas this way I feel like she's got more freedom and she's making the choice to come and do the agility. And it means when I walk into the ring, I'm just like more relaxed, like, hi, yeah, I'm here, I don't have a dog, but don't worry about that. As opposed to like, oh, Tilly, come, oh. And yeah, they seem pretty chill about it, the ring people. They yeah, they were just like, oh yeah, when you're ready. They weren't like, where the heck's your dog? Yeah, and then she came. So yeah, we'll see how it develops, because it could develop into more mischief, or it could potentially, fingers crossed, develop into a controlled and effective start line. We picked up our rosettes, so this is our second place rosette from our first agility run, and I think it's really pretty. It's like kind of lilac and blue. It looks grey in the camera, but it's lilac, so yeah, I'm pleased with that rosette. And then we also got a clear round rosette for the steeplechase. So yeah, we've had a good time here. Yeah, it's a really nice venue, and yeah, efficient getting through all the classes, and they had a fun steeplechase, so we like steeplechases. So yeah, and also they had good numbers of competitors, like a decent number but not too many. So yeah, good show, good times, some good agility daily. And yeah, we're gonna go home now, and we'll see you next week at next week's show.